Happy birthday, BP. Happy birthday, BP. Nobody's going to join up here with me on the broadcast, man. It's happy birthday to Brandon Phillips. Was that bad singing? I feel like it was good singing. Welcome into Wild Health Field, everybody. Here with you on this Tuesday night, on Free Hot Dog Night, and on the day that Brandon Phillips was born. I'm Michael Watkins, and we appreciate you joining us here on a Tuesday night for some Legends baseball as the Legends get set to take on the Barnstormers of Lancaster. Tonight's lineups look like this. We'll start with the visiting team in center field, Dunston Jr. in batting second and playing second base, Mercedes. Batting third, playing first base is Dugan, who's been a powerhouse for the Barnstormers. At DH, Cordero batting in the cleanup spot. In right field, batting fifth is Clark. Shaver behind the plate, he'll bat sixth. Batting seventh in left field is Robinson. At shortstop, batting eighth is Feliz. And the third baseman, Lower, batting ninth for Lancaster. For your Lexington Legends, they celebrate the 41st birthday of Brandon Phillips. He'll bat third in the lineup, but first it's Boog Powell, followed up by Tillman Pugh. And Powell will play center field, Pugh will play left field. Phillips will play his normal second base. At first base, it'll be Tejeda. Right field, Phillip Irvin. At the DH is Smith Jr., today batting sixth. Batting seventh is the catcher, Pete Jorgen. Batting eighth, Geraldo playing third. And batting ninth, it is the shortstop, Cuevas. Appreciate you joining us here, folks, as the Legends set to take on the team that is in fourth place in the North Division. The Lancaster Barnstormers are 24-34 on the season. Legends 21-36 in the basement of the South Division. But with all the lineup shifting and everything else going on, this has been a very different season than what we saw last year, when you could pretty much pencil in from top to bottom who was going to be there. Obviously, some changes throughout the year, but nothing like what we've seen this year for the Lexington Legends, who are coming off that championship last season in their first year in the ALPB. Now trying to find a way to put some wins together and get some momentum as they head into the second half of the season. Tonight's game on the Legends YouTube channel is brought to you by tons of great sponsors. We'll see some of those and hear from some of them throughout the game as well. We appreciate you joining us as we bring you Legends Baseball here on the Legends YouTube channel. Tom Gross and Steve Tressler, there'll be a couple of guys you'll hear from them throughout the season. I'll be here with you today, and then on Thursday I'll be back as well. Tomorrow, Tom Gross will have an afternoon game for you at 12 o'clock. These two teams will square off once again, and then a weekend series featuring Steve coming up later on as well. Welcome back into the broadcast booth. Michael Watkins here with you as we see Snyder warming up for the Legends. He will take the mound. Lexington starting pitcher tonight as wearing number 28. See if he can get things going. A 6.93 ERA in 15 games. This will be his first start of the season for Snyder in 24 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 34 hits, 19 earned runs, giving up 4 home runs in those innings. And a great crowd on hand here on Free Hot Dog Tuesday. So we'll see if Snyder can come in and pitch well in his first start of the season. A guy that's more of a long relief guy. He's pitched well at times this year. Now getting the start, and he'll face off against Dunston Jr., Mercedes, and Dugan to lead things off here for the Barnstormers. Kelly Dugan, the first baseman for Lancaster out of California. His peak was AAA baseball. He has right now been a beast for the Barnstormers this season. How about this? On the year, Dugan leading the league in average at .349, 21 home runs, tied with the Legends' Courtney Hawkins, who is not in the lineup tonight, and he's second in the league in RBI with 58. So Dunston Jr. will lead things off. Batting on the left side of the plate versus Snyder. And the first pitch of the game is outside for ball 1. Another pitch on the outside, this one taken for a strike. So 1-1 to the leadoff man for the Barnstormers. Dunston Jr. waiting from Snyder. This one on the outside corner as well, beautifully placed, and Snyder has a count in his favor. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dunston Jr. a .328 average, 3 RBI, no home runs on the season. The 1-2 hit right at the birthday boy. He'll come up and get it. A little high step as he throws over for out number 1. Well, there's nobody that has more fun than Brandon Phillips, even though he's turning 41 years old today. The former Cincinnati Red, Hall of Fame career in the major leagues, has the energy and has so much fun out there. You would think he was in his mid-20s out there playing baseball. So 1 down, and the batter is Melvin Mercedes, Zim squared, coming up to the plate for Lancaster. The second baseman starts the at-bat off with a pitch outside from Snyder, so a 1-0 count. Now the 1-0 pitch is outside on the corner. Another pitch. Snyder now 3 times already in this game through the first 2 batters has painted the outside corner perfectly. And the count now a ball and a strike. Here comes the 1-1. Coming inside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Melvin Mercedes, a .241 average for the Lancaster second baseman. Snyder gets the sign. Another pitch outside. Tried to paint the corner. Could not this time. Mercedes 51 games this year for the Barnstormers. This is his 200th at-bat. He's got 48 hits, 8 of those for doubles, and the 4 home runs. Here comes the 3-1 count from Snyder. Another one outside, and after the grounder to Phillips for the first out of the inning, Mercedes will coax the walk, and there's now 1 on for Lancaster. Now it's the big guy, Kelly Dugan. Great season for him again. Top 3 in every category that you'd want to be tops in. Leading the league in home runs and average, and he's third, make it second in RBI. Sandwiched in between Franco of York and the Legends Hawkins. 0-1 count as Snyder gets the sign and delivers. High pop-up, might be playable. Geraldo giving it a chase, and he'll watch as it bounces into the bleachers behind the Barnstormers dugout in the count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Kelly Dugan. It's a guy that if you're Snyder, if you can get out of this one, give you some confidence heading into latter part of this game. 0-2 for Dugan. As the pitch is hit into right field, Pugh will come in and find it, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Make that Irvin in right field, Pugh in left field tonight. So 2 down in the inning, and that'll bring up to the plate the DH Cordero. Cordero from the right side of the plate facing off against Snyder, who walked Mercedes, who's on first. 2 down in the top of the first. Legends have had issues this season and last season when you look back at it of giving up those early inning runs and getting behind the 8 ball. We've seen it several times this year. Snyder trying to negate that fact here this evening. Here comes the 1-0. And that'll come up in on Cordero, up into the shoulder blade area, and put 2 on for the Barnstormers. A hit by pitch and a walk, providing the 2 base runners right now for Lancaster. And there's now 2 on with 2 out here in the top of the first. Clark, the right fielder. Good season for him. Ladarius, 11 home runs, a .293 average, and 32 RBI. Snyder checks on the runner at second. Now a quick glance over to the runner at first, and the pitch is hit into center field. Boog Powell will come up and make the catch to end the inning. A walk and a hit by a pitch provide 2 runners for the Barnstormers, but a nice job by the defense. Boog Powell and Phillip Irvin helping Brendan Phillips as well supply the 3 outs, and we go to the bottom half of the first here live at Wild Health Field on the Legends YouTube channel. Boog Powell will lead things off for the Legends. They face off against Niall Ball, who's 3-3 on the season, a 383 average. Ball has appeared in 10 games, 9 of those started, and he's got 51 and 2/3 innings down on the season thus far. Ball will face off against Powell, Pugh, and Phillips to lead things off. Ball's ERA in the top 10 in the Atlantic League, as he faces off against Powell, and now a count that is 1 ball and a strike here at Wild Health Field. Michael Watkins here with you on the call this evening. Glad you're joining us, whether you're at the ballpark or watching on the Legends YouTube channel. This pitch fouled off down the third base line, and the count now 1-2. Right back to work. Powell takes a pitch. That one looked good on the inside part of the plate. Ball just missing. And it's now even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boog Powell awaiting the 2-2 pitch, and he'll ground it foul to stay alive. Interesting season thus far for Boog Powell. His first year in a Legends uniform was tremendous last year in the Atlantic League. Batting .282, 6 home runs, has been tremendous defensively. As pitch outside. When you got guys like Pugh and Phillips and Hawkins batting behind you, and you get a guy like Boog Powell who can get on base more often than not, it's a real dangerous threat for the Legends. This pitch is fouled off down the right field line. Powell battling here. What you want a leadoff man to do, you want him to battle and try to see as many pitches as he can for these guys coming up behind him. The payoff pitch, Powell will ground it over to second base. A little high pop into the glove of Mercedes, who will throw over to first in time for out number 1. Now to bring up Tillman Pugh playing in left field tonight. And Pugh is a guy that can play everywhere. He's played right and left. He played some second base at times this year. Pugh with 1 down and the base is empty will bat against Niall Ball. Phillips in the on-deck circle. As Ball rears back and delivers a pitch right down Broadway for strike 1. Pugh batting .276, trying to back up a season in which he was top 5 in the home run. This one hit hard. It bounces off of the mound, and out at first is Tillman Pugh. That one was going to be a base hit straight up the gut. It hit the mound, popped up, and right into the glove of Mercedes, who throws over again for out number 2. And now it's the guy celebrating birthday number 41, Brandon Phillips, coming in up to the plate. A lot of Brandon Phillips jerseys in the house tonight. A beautiful night for baseball. A great crowd on hand to celebrate the birth of BP as he bats here with the bases empty and 2 down in the top of the first. Pitch outside for ball 1. Phillips just .235 average. Only played in 4 games thus far for the Legends this season. His brother PJ, the manager for Lexington. As Tejeda digs into the on-deck circle, that pitch on the outside corner, and the count now 1-1. Ball delivers the 1-1 pitch, outside again, 2 balls and a strike. Niall Ball this season, 41 strikeouts. He's walked 17 batters, given up 6 home runs on the season. Here comes the 2-1, and Phillips will ground it foul down the third base line. Count now 2-2 for Brandon Phillips, the Legends' second baseman. Ball sets and delivers. A pitch that is swung on and missed, and that is the 42nd strikeout of the season for Ball. Phillips goes down in a 1-2-3 inning for the Barnstormers pitcher. We're scoreless after one as we head to the second inning here live on the Legends YouTube channel. Shaver, Robinson, and Feliz, the 6, 7, and 8 part of the order here, due up for the Barnstormers as they battle against the Legends. Going into the second inning, the Serve Pro second inning. Serve Pro with several locations around the state of Kentucky. Visit them online, like them on Facebook to learn more. The batter is Colton Shaver, 9 home runs on the season for the Barnstormers catcher. Shaver a .276 average behind the plate. Facing off against Snyder, who pitched pretty well, did walk and hit somebody in that first inning, but was able to get out of a mini jam there in the top of the first inning. Shaver in 55 games, 192 at-bats, 30 runs scored, 53 hits for the Barnstormers catcher. Awaiting the 1-1 from Snyder. And this pitch hit hard down the third baseline and foul. As we mentioned, the Legends at the bottom of their division, the Lancaster Barnstormers in fourth place in their division this season. So two teams that had high hopes coming into the year. Plans have fizzled out thus far, but still another half of baseball to be decided. Now 1-2 to Shaver as Snyder sets and comes up in. That'll back you off the plate. That one was as close as you could get without putting a guy on base. Snyder, 2-2, swung on and missed, and down goes Shaver as Snyder able to get the strikeout. It's a good start to the inning as the Legends pitcher able to strike out the first man he sees, one down in the inning, and for Snyder at his 18th strikeout of the year. Shaver striking out for the 55th time, so a guy that has struck out a lot. 55 strikeouts for Shaver, 53 hits on the season. So it's been either a hit or a strikeout more often than not for the catcher for Lancaster. Now quickly back to work as Trayvon Robinson grounds one over in the hole to Phillips at second base. He'll throw over in time for the out. So two down as Feliz, the shortstop, will dig in for Lancaster. Anderson Feliz, 2 home runs, a 254 average for the Barnstormers. As Snyder gets set, delivers a pitch inside for ball 1. Good shot there of the legend starter today, Brett Snyder, a guy that's got a lot of confidence from a lot of people around this area. These Legends fans have got to watch Snyder over the last couple of seasons, and you got to love that what he brings to the table, a guy that can really do anything you ask of him. He can go long innings. He can start, obviously, getting his first start of the year tonight. He can come in for maybe a matchup if you ask him to. 3-0 the count as he faces off against Feliz. Looking for a 1-2-3 second inning after allowing 2 guys on in the first. Here comes the 3-0 pitch, and like we normally see on a 3-0 count, the batter keeping the bat on his shoulder, and a pitch right down the middle, 3-1. As the crowd starts to come to life, the 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed. A beautiful pitch from Snyder as he gets Robinson to go down 1, or after 1. And it's now a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Snyder looking for another strikeout. Struck out Shaver to begin the inning. 3-2. Gets the sign and the payoff pitch. And it'll be a second walk of the game instead. That brings up the third baseman, Lohr. Trace Lohr playing at third base today for Lancaster. Got a man over at first, 1 on and 2 down here in the second inning. First pitch he sees on the outside corner for strike 1. 45 games for Lohr on the season. 146 at-bats. He's came around to score 15 times for the Barnstormers. Snyder will throw over Feliz back in plenty of time. Dunston Jr. at the top of the order in the on-deck circle for the Barnstormers. Snyder, the 0-1. Swung on and missed, and Lohr going up at it. Out of the zone, chasing one to fall behind 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first is Feliz following a walk. Snyder gets the sign, the 0-2. Outside, runner taken off. Pitches, or the throw to second up high. Cuevas able to go up and get it, but not going to be in time as Pete Jorgen unable to throw out the runner. So now a runner in scoring position for the Barnstormers. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Feliz gets a good lead off of second. Tejeda now back over behind first. As the 1-2 comes in. Comes inside. And the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lohr on the season, 32 hits, 4 of those for doubles. Just the 1 home run on the season. 2s across the board. Got a runner at second base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Snyder gets the sign and the 2-2 pitch. Hit into left field, and that will score a runner. Pugh able to come in and field it. He'll throw in to Phillips, but not before Feliz comes in to score. And the stolen base comes into effect as the Barnstormers able to bring in the first run of the game here in the second inning. The walk, the stolen base, and then an RBI by Lohr makes it 1-0 Barnstormers as Dunston Jr. now comes to the plate. We've got one buddy up here enjoying the hot dogs. Had a youngster walk over here, and I think he's teasing me. He's got a free hot dog. 0-1 count now as Dunston Jr., who grounded out to second base, comes back to the plate. Snyder Delivers a pitch on the outside corner. 1-1 the count. Runner over at first is Lear, as Dunston Jr. with the 3 RBIs on the season, another stolen base attempt, and they're going to call batter's interference and call him out at the plate. Yorkin was trying to come up and throw the base runner out. Batter's interference is called, and that will put 3 down in the inning. But a run does come across for Lancaster. We go to the bottom of the second inning, Legends finding themselves down by a run early. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. We're live at Wild Health Field on the Legends YouTube channel. Tejeda will lead off for the Legends as we battle it out here in the bottom of the second inning, now down by a run. It'll be Tejeda, Irvin, and Smith Jr., the 4, 5, and 6 part of the order. Tejeda, the first baseman. After a 1-2-3 bottom of the first, Legends now trying to find themselves with some offense. Pitch coming inside, taken for a strike. Tejeda doesn't like the call. 4 home runs on the season for the Legends first baseman, a 240 average, 20 RBI. 0-1 count. This one grounded over to third. Lear will come up, and he'll throw over in time for an easy out, number 1. Routine grounder, and there's one down here in the bottom of the second. Brings up the former Major League player, Philip Irvin. Another guy that spent some time up in Cincinnati. Irvin playing in right field, a guy that's been trying to find his consistency. 251 average, had a much better last couple of weeks than what we saw early on this season. But Irvin is a guy that can be a big piece and a guy that can really put some fear in opposing pitchers and defenses. So 1 on and 1 down here in the inning as Smith Jr. bats. First pitch coming in outside. Irvin on with the hit by pitch. I love the little ones up here having some fun up in the suites. Got an 0-1 count to Smith Jr. as they throw over, almost getting Irvin. Look at some of the numbers on the season for Smith Jr. As he awaits the 1-0 pitch, another throw over. Again, almost getting Irvin at first. .286 average and just 1 RBI on this season. Smith Jr. again batting from the left side of the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Irvin a huge lead over at first as the pitch outside 2-0. Smith on the year in 3 games, 7 at-bats, 2 hits, and the 1 RBI. So playing in just his 4th game since being signed to play for Lexington on the season. Didn't like the caller. He thought that pitch was outside, but the home plate umpire gives the strike call. It's now a 2-ball, 1 strike count to the Legends DH. Another throw over. Irvin back in time. Dugan, on a couple of different occasions, has almost been able to apply the tag. As my boy Will, the DJ here tonight, giving the old boring sound effect. 2 balls, 1 strike. Smith Jr. fouls this one off. Count now even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball. Checks on the runner at first. Comes in with a pitch. And that one looked like it got him in the right shin. Smith Jr. staying in there, though, so apparently not. But that one looked like it got him there on that front leg. As the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Irvin over at first. Ball will check on the runner and gets set to deliver the payoff pitch. Coming inside, gets away from the catcher, but it wouldn't matter either way as Dwight Smith Jr. able to coax the walk. So in this inning, Ball struggling a bit with his command. A hit by a pitch, and now a walk puts 2 men on and the tying run in scoring position. Phillip Irvin's got some good speed at second base. Runner over at first, Dwight Smith Jr., also good speed. Jorgen, first pitch he sees, off the glove of the second baseman Mercedes, and that'll tie the ball game. Mercedes, I think, was going to count his chickens before they hatch, count his eggs before they hatch, whatever that saying is. How do I not know that saying? But anyways, off the glove of Mercedes, he thought he had a for sure inning double play. Instead, Legends tie things up off the bat of Pete Jorgen. What would have been an easy double play is instead a tie game and still just 1 down here in the inning. Now it's Dwight Smith Jr. at second, Jorgen at first for the third baseman, Geraldo. Keith, the saying, is it count your chickens before they hatch or count your eggs before they hatch? I got to get that lined out here. Ball with the pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Keith, I need your help. The saying, is it count your chickens before they hatch or count your eggs before they hatch? Don't count your chickens before they hatch. There we go. So that's what Mercedes did there when he thought he had a for sure double play, but instead forgot to have the baseball in his glove. And that's what allowed the Legends to tie this game up on the air by the second baseman. Geraldo fouls this one off. The count now 0-2. You would think, growing up in Eastern Kentucky, that was a saying that I've probably said 1,000 times in my lifetime. Pete Jorgen over at first. At second base, Dwight Smith Jr. Legends Batting here in the second inning, tying the game off that error by Mercedes, and now a chance to take an early lead. Ball checks on the lead runner, and the 0-1 pitch is outside, a ball and a strike. Geraldo batting .238 on the season. Manuel 2 home runs and 7 RBI. Ball. The high leg kick and the pitch outside, and again the command not what it has been in that first inning. Now a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Ball has just thrown 29 pitches thus far. But when he's missed bad here in the inning. The pitch, Geraldo fouls it off. Great view there is Marsh and the gang up in the booth, giving you some good angles up here tonight on the YouTube channel. Good shot there, the pitcher for the Barnstormers. Ball as he gets set to deliver a 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Swung on and missed, and down goes the Legends third baseman on the strikeout. So 2 down in the inning, and the batter going to be the shortstop, Cesar Cuevas. At second base, Dwight Smith Jr. At first base, Pete Jorgen. Boog Powell in the on-deck circle. So at the top of the order on the other side of Cesar Cuevas, if he can get aboard and push this inning along. 2 on, 2 outs here in the second. First pitch to Cuevas up high, and he will foul it off. 0-1 to Cesar. Cuevas, a guy, one of those utility guys that can play anywhere. He can play anywhere in the middle infield. He can play some third base. Guy that can bat any part of the order, top or bottom. He will take a pitch on the inside corner, called a strike 2, and the count now, no balls, 2 strikes. Ball. The 0-2 delivery, and down goes Cuevas. Another one out of the zone. Cuevas will chase after it. Back-to-back strikeouts by Ball when it looked like his command was suffering in that second inning. Credit the air for allowing the Legends to tie things up, but we go to the third, tied at 1 here at Wild Health Field on the Legends YouTube channel. Melvin Mercedes will lead things off for the Barnstormers. As Mercedes committed that error in the second inning, allowing the Legends to tie things up. He walked in the first inning. And a hard hit ball here in the left center field. Boog Powell giving it a good chase and a good effort, but to no avail as a long fly ball in the left center field allows Mercedes to reach second base. So now 1 on, and Kelly Dugan, right now the most dangerous hitter in the Atlantic League, coming to the plate. Dugan facing off against Snyder for the Legends. And the first pitch hit hard over to Phillips at second. He'll stare down the runner trotting down the line at third and throw over to first. So Snyder doing a good job of getting out Dugan. He's now 0 for 2 in the game. Now the go-ahead run in this third inning, just 90 feet away. Cordero takes the plate with 8 home runs, a 3.01 average. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. Both he and Mercedes were on base when Clark flew out to center field to end that first inning. They got 2 guys on but couldn't do anything with it. Now a 1-0 count to Cordero as Snyder delivers, and that one up on top of the big league roofs here at Wild Health Field. Big League Roofing, one of the great sponsors for Legends Baseball. So now it's 1-1 to the DH for the Barnstormers. Cordero awaiting the pitch, and it's hit over in the hole at short. Cuevas gave it a good dive, was right there on top of it, but it just does squeak by for a base hit and an RBI for Cordero. So bringing us up to the plate, the right fielder, Clark. One on, one down here in the inning. Snyder checks on the runner, and the pitch to Clark is popped up high and playable in the infield. Geraldo will call everybody off, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. And that brings up the catcher, Shaver. Shaver struck out his first time up. A guy that can do some damage with the bat. 9 home runs on the season, but at this point, more strikeouts than hits. Shaver on the year, 53 hits. He struck out for the 55th time in his first at bat. So 0 for 1 on the day. Comes to the plate here with 2 down and a runner on first. And that one did not miss by much as Snyder looked like he was jump ahead 0-1 there, but that pitch outside. Jorgen gives the sign and the 0-1. Shaver going after one there on the outside. And you look at the Legends website and check the stat tracker. That first pitch, I mean, that was as absolutely close as you can get without being a strike. So 1-1 the count. And this one's fouled off back into the net behind home plate, make it 1-2. Even with the 55 strikeouts now, still a 275 average for the catcher for the Barnstormers. Snyder checks on the runner at first and the 1-2. This one Little dribbler down the first baseline, and they will call it foul. Nope, scratch that. They say he's out. An easy play there for Snyder as he's able to field it and apply the tag to end the inning. Barnstormers, however, add a run. It's now 2-1. Lancaster back in front as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Here live at Wild Health Field, you're listening and watching Legends Baseball on the Legends YouTube channel. We go to the bottom of the third as Boog Powell, the top of the order, leading things off for the Legends here in the third inning. It'll be Powell, Pugh, and Phillips. The three Ps getting things started here in the third inning as the Legends now try to come back from a one-run deficit once again. Each team scoring a run in the second inning, and the Barnstormers coming back with another run in the top of the third. So a 2-1 Barnstormers lead. This one hit hard down the right field line. It'll get foul. And the count now, 2 balls and a strike to Boog Powell. Powell grounding out to second base his first time up. Powell, I think, a guy that many fans were excited about. Probably the guy they were most excited about as far as a newcomer to the Legends roster. Another pitch outside will make it 3-1. Powell this season now batting .281, the 6 home runs, the 19 RBI, but really his defense has been what has made him a fan favorite here in Lexington in his short stint. 3 balls, 1 strike to Powell, who swings through. That was actually strike 3. I'll blame Hugh Davis for my mishap there as Powell goes down swinging. Pugh grounded out to second in his first plate appearance. Tillman playing in left field today, 0 for 1 himself as he faces off against Ball. And a pitch that's rocketed right to Mercedes. Did not even have to move as he just watches the ball pop into his glove for an easy out number 2. bring up Brandon Phillips. BP struck out his first time up. Going to have some drone footage on field here in between innings, so that'll be fun to check out. Make sure you tune into that as Phillips takes a pitch inside. The birthday boy struck out his first time up, but BP, a guy that can tie this thing up with one swing of the bat, would be a good birthday present for the Hall of Fame career of the Brandon Phillips. He was so good up in the major leagues. A fan favorite of a lot of folks, a lot of people that I know that are big Reds fans. You know, Brandon Phillips, Joey Votto, guys that were around when the Reds were so much fun to watch. Obviously, a lot of things changing up there in that organization. But BP, still a guy that fans still reminisce about for what he did at the plate, in the field, and obviously a great guy in the community as well. Oh, there's some of the drone footage. Man, that is awesome. Check that out. We'll have some more of that here in between innings as Phillips awaits the 2-1. Ball, the windup, and the delivery is up high. 3 balls and a strike. Three and one to Brandon Phillips, and he'll take one on the left shoulder. Phillips hit by a pitch, and he and Ball both share a smile as BP trots down the line at first. That's the most painful kind of hit by pitch because, you know, if you move out of the way there, you're already going to be on base. But instead, you take one on the left shoulder. I'm sure BP's been hit by some faster pitches in his career, but even at 41 years of age, Phillips loves playing this game, and that's part of it. So 1 on, 1 or 2 down for Tejeda. Phillips obviously got some good speed. Pitch on the outside corner for strike one as Ball brings the heat, a 90-mile-per-hour fastball on the outside corner. Tejeda, 4 home runs, a .238 average. He's been pretty much the most consistent guy in the lineup, and more often than not, he's been hitting in this cleanup role for the Legends this year. Another pitch on the outside corner, another strike call, as the Legends first baseman falls behind 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Phillips gets a good lead over at first. Ball will deliver the 0-2 pitch, and Tejeda will pop it up. It's getting into the bleachers here and hauled in by a fan to our right. So the count, still 0-2 to Tejeda. Phillips takes his lead off of first. The 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Tejeda down swinging to end the inning. BP stranded over at first on his birthday after a hit by pitch, and it's still a 2-1 Barnstormers lead as we go to the 4th here at Wild Health Field on the Legends YouTube channel. You can see our drone shot there from outside of the stadium. That's a beautiful shot. Just getting you an eye of how things look over top of Wild Health Field. A great shot there from Marsh and Judith and the gang providing that. As we go into the fourth inning with the Legends down 2-1, and the Barnstormers sending now Robinson to the plate. Robinson, Feliz, and Lohr, the 7, 8, 9 part of the order coming up here in this fourth inning. Robinson grounded out to second base in the second inning. Feliz walked and came around to score the first run of the game for Lancaster. 2 balls, no strikes immediately out of the gate to Robinson. One-run lead for the Barnstormers as they bat here in the top of the fourth inning. That pitch taken for a strike. Big L making his way through the suites, getting some pictures with some of the young fans here in attendance on Brandon Phillips' birthday. You know, Big L has done a lot of things in his career. A couple of weeks ago, he was actually able to add to his legendary resume as he was a ring bearer during a wedding ceremony out on the field here at Wild Health Field before a game a couple of weeks ago. That pitch grounded over to Tejeda at first. Robinson hustling down the line, but he'll be the first out of the inning. So 1 down and nobody on for the shortstop Feliz. Again, we talked about it. With 2 down in the second inning, Feliz walked, stole second base, and then was driven in on a single by Lohr to left field. First pitch he sees, he'll pop it up down the left field line. Several Legends defenders giving it chase. Cuevas, a sliding effort in front of Geraldo. Pugh there as well, but none of those guys able to haul in that ball. So 0-1 the count as Pugh, Geraldo, and Cuevas all head back to their defensive position. And coming to the plate with a now 0-1 count is the shortstop Feliz. 0-1 with 1 down. Base is empty. This pitch into left center field. Boog Powell moving over in the direction of Tillman Pugh and making the catch for the second out of the inning. Lohr bats with an RBI single to his name thus far in the inning. He's played some good defense over at third as well, making a couple of defensive plays tonight. Two-one lead for the Barnstormers. Now 2 down and the base is empty for the number 9 hitter Lohr. He's 1 for 1 in the game with that RBI single. Looks as if he might have got something in his eye. Home plate umpire checking on him. Jorgens came out of his catcher's position, walking around inside that circle in front of the Wild Health Field logo. Not sure what the issue was there, but he says he's ready to go back in the batter's box, and he'll bat with a 1-0 count. Snyder will get the sign from Jorgen behind the plate. And the pitch outside now 2-0. Brett, again, a guy that normally doesn't get the start, comes in some long relief, got the start tonight. And through 3 2/3 innings, 54 pitches. That one's across the plate for a strike, and the count now 2-1. Interesting note about Ball, the pitcher for the Barnstormers, talking to the play-by-play guy for the Barnstormers radio broadcast. Ball this season has actually hit a batter in 9 of his 10 starts. That pitch coming right back in our direction. It'll hit the big league roofing roofs and bounce behind the stadium as the count now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the base is empty for the Barnstormers' third baseman. Tell you what, you could not ask for a better day at the stadium. A lot of fans in attendance, and they're all enjoying some good baseball to this point. As Snyder gets lower to ground one off his foot. He's had a rough at-bat here. That'll be a foul ball and keep the count at 2-2. A lot of youngsters in attendance tonight. As the count 2-2, following that foul ball will stay that way, and it'll be the 5th pitch, make it the 6th pitch of the at-bat for Trace Lohr. Pitch is popped up foul again. A good at-bat brewing here as Snyder tries to get out of the inning. Had a chance to go 1-2-3 in the second before walking Feliz and giving up the base hit to Lohr that ended a scoreless game in the second inning. Now trying to go 1-2-3 here in the fourth. And he will. A swing and a miss. Was it a foul ball? It was a foul ball. Another foul ball from Lohr. So the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Snyder. The 2-2 again. Outside corner this time. Nothing that Lohr could do. Down looking he goes. Second strikeout. Make it 3rd strikeout of the game for Brett Snyder. As we go to the bottom of the 4th. Legends coming from behind once again. We'll see if they can tie things up when we come back at Wild Health Field on the Legends YouTube channel. Phillip Ervin begins his at-bat off with a pitch on the inside corner for strike one. As Ball continues to pitch well for the Barnstormers. There in that second inning, it looked as if he was struggling with his command, missing on a couple of balls way out of the zone, but he has since then settled himself down and once again has a lead. 1 ball, 2 strikes in the count to Phillip Ervin. Ervin hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, came in to score the only run of the game for the Legends. This one hit hard in the left field, But coming in to make the catch is Robinson for out number 1. That one looked off the bat like it might be trouble. But what little wind is blowing toward left field might have slowed that one down a tad. 2-1 lead as Dwight Smith Jr. bats. First pitch he sees is outside for ball 1. Legends down by a run. 2-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Smith Jr. another one that's fouled off down the left field line. 2 balls and a strike. Pete Jorgen in the on-deck circle for the Legends, batting in the 7-hole. The 1-1 for Smith Jr. fouled off almost in the same direction, right on top of the big league roofing roofs here at the stadium. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Legends and the Barnstormers facing off here at Wild Health Field as Smith Jr. goes down swinging, chasing one down in the dirt, coming inside, still offered up at it, and he'll go down swinging for the second out of the inning. Jorgen reached in the second inning with an error by Mercedes. That's when the only run of the game was scored by Lexington when Phillip Irvin came in to score on that error. It went off the glove of Mercedes. Irvin at the time was at second base. Would have been an inning double play. Instead, Mercedes lost it out of his glove. It went into right field. Irvin came in to score, and Jorgen was able to reach base safely. Pete immediately falling behind quickly 0-2 as he faces off against Niall Ball. No balls, 2 strikes. Ball sets and delivers outside, now 1-2. Legends, even with that 1 run, have yet to record a hit in the game. Jorgen trying to change that. Instead, he'll ground it over to Lohr. He'll throw over in time for the out. Another 1-2-3 inning for Ball. Legends still down by a run. Schneider trying to keep it at a 1-run deficit. We'll see if he and the defense can do just that when we come back for inning number 5 at Wild Health Field on the Legends YouTube channel. We come back to action here in the fifth inning. Legends and the Barnstormers squaring off in a big matchup here late in the first half of the season. And a 2-1 lead for Lancaster here in Lexington. Brett Snyder continuing to pitch well, as he's only given up the 2 runs right now. His team down by 1 here in the fifth inning. Dunston Jr., the leadoff man, back at the plate. With an 0-for-2 day thus far, the ground out to second base and a strikeout. Snyder gets the sign and the 2-0 pitch. Hit hard up in the direction of second base. Phillips on the edge of the grass will make the catch for the first out of the inning. So 1 down in the fifth for Mercedes. The Barnstormers' second baseman has walked and grounded out. Or excuse me, walked and doubled to left center field. So he's 1 for 1 in the game thus far. Snyder delivers a pitch on the inside corner. Count 0-1 to the Barnstormers' second baseman. 3 hits for Lancaster, none for the Legends to get these 3 runs. 2 runs for the Barnstormers, obviously 1 for Lexington thus far. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mercedes taking 1 inside as the count is a ball and a strike. On the outside corner, Mercedes thought that one was low as he looks back at the home plate umpire. Did not like the strike call, but he falls behind 1-2. Mercedes calls time. Now digs back into the box. Snyder. The 1-2. Grounded over to Phillips again. This time BP will hop up, throw it over to Tejeda for out number 2. Now it's Kelly Dugan, the first baseman for the Barnstormers. What a great season he's had. But tonight, Brett Snyder has shut him down for the moment. He's flown out to right field and grounded out to Phillips at second base. 0-for-2 on the day as Dugan, a little soft chopper here that'll get foul. Oh for 1 for Dugan. Snyder again looking for a 1-2-3 inning. He's had a couple of chances at it. This pitch down in the dirt. Got a 1-2-3 inning there in the top of the fourth with Robinson, Feliz, and Lower. Now if he can get a 1-2-3 inning with the top half of the order here, would be a big inning for Snyder. Count 2 balls, 1 strike to Dugan. Base is empty here with 2 down in the fifth. Snyder's pitch outside now 3-1. Three and 1 count. Dugan awaits the pitch. And on the outside corner, he thought he had ball 4. Instead, the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count to the top hitter in the Atlantic League. And he calls time. The payoff pitch, it's fouled off down the third base line. So a full count once again. We'll do it all over. 2 outs, base is empty, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Dugan. Man, the payoff pitch. Popped up down the left field line, and a long fly ball that will get plenty foul over by the... Oh, that hit the guy in the left shoulder. He was trying to move out of the way, and it still hit him. Looks like he's okay. Cowboy Adam checking on him there as the payoff pitch once again, and Dugan once again fouling it off. So still bases empty. 2 outs here in the inning and a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Dugan. He's flown out to right field and grounded out to Phillips at second. 0 for 2 afternoon thus far for the Barnstormers first baseman. And that's one way to go 0-3. Looked like he was going to have a long base hit. Instead, Tillman Pugh able to track it, or make that Irvin able to track it down in right field to get Dugan out for the 3rd time in this ball game. The top hitter in the ALPB now 0 for 3, but still a 2-1 lead for his team as we go to the bottom half of inning number 5, broadcasting live from Wild Health Field on the Legends YouTube channel. Manuel Geraldo will bat for the Legends to lead things off in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be Geraldo, Cuevas, and Powell, the 8, 9, and 1 part of the order. Geraldo with a 2-ball, 1-strike count as he leads things off here in the 5th inning. Legends down by a run. No hits for Lexington thus far. The lone run coming in to score following a walk to Phillip Irvin. He ended up, or make that a hit by a pitch to Irvin. Ended up over at second base following a walk to Smith Jr. Geraldo will line drive out to Mercedes, who's been a busy man tonight. Mercedes was who was fielding on the Pete Jorgen hit that came in his direction. Would have been an inning double play, but he fumbled it out of his glove into right field, allowing Irvin to score. And that's how the Legends got their lone run of the ball game on no hits. So Cuevas, the shortstop, 0 for 1 today. Struck out in his only plate appearance thus far. And a first pitch up in the zone. Taken for ball 1. Cuevas with a 1-1 count as he bats with one down here in the fifth. Base is empty. Boog Powell, the top of the order in the on-deck circle. Check swing, foul ball. We'll make it 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, and down swinging again is the Legend shortstop. 0 for 2 day for Cuevas. Both strikeouts swinging. And that'll bring up Boog Powell. Powell, the base is empty, and 2 down, bats with his team down by a run, and another first pitch strike as Ball has really found his groove. The 0-1 pitch, inside now, a ball and a strike. Powell 0 for 2 day with a ground out to second and a strikeout. Ball with the 1-1 delivery. Hard hit ball into right center field. Going back is the right fielder. Center fielder instead calls him off. He'll cut it off at the pass and haul in out number 3. Good defense by Dunston Jr. Another 1-2-3 inning for Ball. He has been in command in the last 3 or 4 innings for this Barnstormers team, and they lead it by 1 run as we go to the 6th. A 2-1 lead for Lancaster on the Legends YouTube channel. Leading things off here in the 6th inning for Lancaster is Cordero, who drove in the second run of the game for the Barnstormers his last time around. 1-0 count as Snyder pitches here in the 6th. Long fly ball. That'll get into the crowd. 2 balls and a strike. Cordero facing off against Snyder. And the 2-1 pitch. Hit right back up the middle. Cordero with another base hit, his second of the ball game. And that'll be 1 on to lead off the inning. And that'll bring to the plate Clark, the right fielder. Legends down by a run. Snyder trying to keep it that way. There is action in the pen for Lexington as Snyder works here in the 6th. He'll check on the lead runner, Cordero. Over at first, and Clark awaiting the first pitch of the at-bat. Squared around a bunt, pulled it back, and the pitch taken for a strike. Oh, 0-1 the count as Snyder gets the sign from Jorgen. And a pitch, Jorgen did a good job of helping paint that one on the outside corner. It's now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Ladarius Clark. Snyder with the 0-2 pitch, trying to get Clark to chase one outside. That one a bit too much out of the zone. And the count now 1-2. Brett tonight has pitched well in his first start of the season. 5 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, 83 pitches thus far, 53 of those for strikes. This one's popped up high into right field. Phillip Irvin coming up, finds it, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Brings up the catcher, Shaver. So 1 down in the inning, 1 on for Shaver. First pitch, he sees a high pop up into left center field. And Boog Powell right there for an easy out. Just like that on 2 pitches, 2 down in the inning. And that'll bring up the left fielder Robinson, who's 0 for 2. Robinson's grounded out to second base and grounded out to first in his 2 plate appearances in the 2nd and in the 4th inning. Batting here in the 6th against Snyder. Cordero on first. And the first pitch he sees on the outside corner. That's where Snyder has been at his best. That outside corner versus lefties has been where he has been at his best tonight. That pitch taken for strike 1. And it's now 0-1 to Robinson. Snyder checks on Cordero. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, a ball and a strike. You know, as far as beards go, Snyder might have the best beard on the team. I'm sure some of these guys would disagree, but the Legends pitcher tonight has got a beard that most guys could only dream of, maybe in one of them. But Brett, not only a nice beard, he's also pitched very well tonight. And with a 1-2 count against Robinson, see if he can get out of this inning here with a runner stranded over at first. It's all about the beard cream, right? Keith, is that what it is? The beard oil, yeah. 1-2, Snyder the pitch. Outside, the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Snyder again just trying to keep this deficit at 1. Give his bats a chance to do something when they come back out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The 2-2 pitch. Down in the dirt, Robinson lets it go by, and the count now full. 3-2 the count. To the Barnstormers left fielder, Trayvon Robinson. Batting just .237 on the year, 0 for 2 day thus far today. Snyder gets the sign. Finally sees a pitch he likes from Jorgen behind the plate, and the payoff pitch. Ball 4, and Robinson will get the walk. It was 1-2. Ends up being a walk to the Barnstormers left fielder. And that might be it for Brett Snyder. P.J. Phillips making his way to the mound. And we're going to have the lefty come in to face off against Feliz, the shortstop for the Barnstormers. But a great start for Brett Snyder. Not much more you can ask for if you're P.J. Phillips, the manager for the Legends. Snyder making his first start. He'll go 5 2/3 innings, 3 strikeouts, 91 pitches, and gave up those 2 runs, but only giving up those 4 hits. A great start for Snyder. So a new pitcher coming in for the Legends. And as he warms up, we will step aside and come right back and see if Lavendier can get out of the inning here. Lavendier coming in to replace Brett Snyder. And we'll come right back to the Legends YouTube channel. So Anderson Feliz comes to the plate. New pitcher in the game for the Legends is Winston Lavendier. He'll come in for a lefty-lefty matchup and try to preserve this 1-run deficit. First pitch on the outside corner taken by Feliz as he falls behind 0-1. Oh, 1 count. Lavendier will check on the lead runner and the pitch. Inside, a ball and a strike. 2 down here in the inning. 2 down, 2 on in the top of the 6th. We cross over the 8 o'clock hour here at Wild Health Field. Lavendier with the pitch. And a swing and a miss, and Lavendier getting Feliz to be way out in front of that pitch. The count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 down here in the inning. Lavendier trying to get this out and keep this deficit at 1. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, the count now 2-2. Anderson Feliz scored the first run of the game for Lancaster back in the 2nd inning. The 2-2 pitch Hit hard into left field. Pugh backing up. Pugh able to haul it in right before the wall at the warning track. And he pitches it into the bullpen as the Legends survive a scare. A hard hit ball by Feliz ends in just that. A long hit fly ball hauled in by Tillman Pugh. And the Legends head into the bottom of the sixth. Down by a run. It's still 2-1 as we go into the bottom half of the inning. Legends will send Pugh, Phillips, and Tejeda to the plate when we come back at Wild Health Field on the Legends YouTube channel. It'll be Tillman Pugh, Brandon Phillips, and Tejeda, the 2, 3, and 4 part of the order due up here for the Legends. And the first pitch swung on and missed by Pugh. Pugh with an 0-2 count. Ball will get the sign and the pitch. Swung on and missed, and not a good start to the inning as Tillman Pugh on 3 pitches goes down for the first out, retired for the 3rd straight time in this ball game. Phillips 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch his last time at the plate. BP celebrating his 41st birthday today. Still having as much fun as he did back when he played in the major leagues. This guy, just so much fun to not only call games for, but if you're a fan, this is why fans come to the games. I mean, you look out there are so many people here tonight who wanted to celebrate Brandon Phillips' birthday with him, and that's what they're here for. BP's first pitch he sees, a hard hit ball in the left field, and that one is over the wall! At the age of 41, BP swings away and over the left field wall will tie this game up at 2. That's one way to celebrate your birthday. Check out this replay, folks. That one was low and inside, and Phillips, with his golf swing, hollers 4 as he delivers it into the bullpen and ties this game up at 2. Hawkins there to celebrate with him as he comes into the dugout. High fives all around. First home run of the year for Brandon Phillips, and the game is tied at 2. Now it's Tejeda. Ball, see if he can calm himself down once again. He was absolutely dominant there in the third, fourth, and fifth innings, but that home run by Phillips ties this game. Ball gets the sign and the 1-0 to Tejeda. Right there on the inside corner, evens this thing up at a ball and a strike. Tejeda, hard grounder over to short. Nice throw over and good defense from Feliz. And she's able to get Tejeda out at first. And that brings up Phillip Irvin. He was hit by a pitch, flew out to left field, 0 for 1 in the game today. See if that home run by Phillips can get this team energized here and see if they can pull out a victory in the first game of this series. Hard hit ball. It's hit right into the shin of Irvin. That one sounded like it would be a long fly ball maybe, but it was right off his shin as he falls behind 0-1. Folks, don't forget, if you have got an afternoon free tomorrow, 12:05 start for these two teams here tomorrow afternoon. If you can't make it out of the ballpark, Tom Gross will have the call for you. And then on Thursday, I'll be right back here in the hot seat as these two teams finish off a 3-game series here in Lexington for a 6:35 start. Again, both games streaming here on the Legends YouTube channel. But I encourage you to get out here. Make sure to check out the Legends Facebook page or visit their website to see all the promotions that are going on. And bring the family out for some fun and for some good baseball here at Wild Health Field tomorrow and Thursday evening. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch inside, now 2-2 the count. Ball with the 2-2 to Irvin. Phillip, a high hit ball. It's going to be playable in the infield. Shaver will come over and make the catch. Good defensive play there by the catcher for the Barnstormers. The Brandon Phillips home run ties this game at 2, and we go to the 7th inning. Knotted up at 2 apiece. Broadcasting live at Wild Health Field here on the Legends YouTube channel. Lavendier will stay in the game for the Legends, and one thing of note, Hugh Davis pointing it out there, didn't realize it because of the run already scored, but that home run by Brandon Phillips was actually the first hit of the game for the Legends, ending the no-hitter for Niall Ball. First pitch of this inning is a hard hit ball by Lower down the left field line. That'll get foul. Here in the 7th inning, it's the Barnstormers and the Legends knotted up at 2 apiece. Lavendier facing off against Lord. First pitch was fouled off. This pitch swung on and missed, and the count's 0-2. A great start tonight by Brett Snyder of the Legends. Now Lavendier in the game, trying to preserve now what would be a tie game. It's 2-2. And see if the bats can give him a win potentially at some point in this game. That pitch outside, so it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Barnstormers third baseman. Lower an RBI single to left field in the 2nd inning, and he struck out back in the 4th. So 1 for 2 this evening. Make it 1 for 3. A strikeout here to lead things off in the 7th. Back-to-back strikeouts of Lower. The first time it was Brett Snyder that got him. Now it's Lavendier with the strikeout. So 1 down for Dunston Jr., the leadoff man for the Barnstormers. Dunston Jr. is grounded out to second, struck out and popped up to second. So an 0 for 3 day thus far for the center fielder from Lancaster. 1-0 lead as Lavendier gets the sign. And the 1-0 pitch. Out on the outside corner, that'll even things up at a ball and a strike. One and 1 count as Dunston Jr. awaits. Chopper over to Tejeda at first. He'll trot over to first and step on the bag. And there's 2 down here in the 7th inning. Got to bring up Mercedes. Mercedes today's walked, doubled the left center field and grounded out to second base. 1 for 2 afternoon for the second baseman from the Barnstormers, batting .244 on the season. First pitch, a called strike. Lavendier coming in and putting it over the plate. Winston this season has been so good as a relief pitcher, at .394 ERA for Lexington this year. The 0-1 pitch outside, a ball and a strike. Did get himself in some trouble the last time I was here, which was last Wednesday. One ball, 1 strike to Melvin Mercedes. Winston Lavendier the pitch, and this one grounded over to Cuevas. He'll come up throwing in time for the out. A 1-2-3 inning for Lavendier. He's came in and closed the door to this point. Barnstormers and the Legends tied at 2. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Time for the 7th inning stretch here on the Legends YouTube channel. Dwight Smith Jr. will lead things off. Jorgen and Geraldo will follow. So it's the 6, 7, and 8 part of the order here coming up for the Legends in this bottom of the 7th inning. A tie game at 2. Great crowd on here tonight, and everybody's sticking around trying to see if the Legends can pull out this victory. Smith Jr. will foul this one off into the crowd and gotta haul that one in. 0-2 the count as Smith Jr. here faces off against ball. Pitch is outside and it's now 1-2. Pete Jorgen in the on-deck circle, Geraldo to follow. Ball with the 1-2 delivery, and Smith Jr. a hard hit ball down the right field line that'll bounce off the wall. Man, look at the wheels on Smith Jr. as he slides into second base safely. What a nice piece of hitting and a great job of sliding away from the tag. We've got to check that one out once again. A hard hit ball into right field off the wall. And that one rocketed right back into the shortstop Feliz. And somehow Smith Jr. able to slide out of the way of that one. Now, we'll see if Jorgen tries to bunt him over here. Nobody out in the inning, and leadoff double. And Pete Jorgen, who has struggled at the plate tonight, will bat with Smith Jr. at second base. He gets the bunt down, but it's going to roll foul. And 0-1 count to the Legends catcher. Smith Jr. at second base, the DH tonight for the Legends. Crowd coming to life field. Let's see if Jorgen can get this bunt down and get the speedy Smith Jr. over to third. Gets the bunt down, and once again it rolls foul. Good job by Ball, throwing it up in the zone with some heat, making it hard for Jorgen to get that bunt down safely. The count's now 0-2. Smith Jr. takes a great lead off of second. Jorgen will foul it off. If you're Pete here, just don't strike out. Put something in play, preferably on the right side of the field, and let's move Smith Jr. over to third base. Ball checks on the base runner, and the 0-2 outside. Smith Jr. thought about taking off. That pitch bouncing away from Shaver. Thinks better of it. Smith Jr. again in scoring position. Jorgen trying to just move him over, but now it's a 1-2 count after a couple of failed bunt attempts and a couple of foul balls. Here's the 1-2, and Jorgen will go down looking. Another strikeout, and some bad execution there for the Legends. As Geraldo now comes to the plate. Geraldo has struck out and hit a line drive to Mercedes at second base, right into his glove his last time up, as he's now 0 for 2 on the day. Smith Jr. still hanging out over at second base. He's got good enough speed. If you could get one into the outfield here, could probably score him. First pitch out of the zone, ball 1. Smith Jr. playing in just his 4th game for the Legends, but that hard hit ball into right field. See if that's enough to give this team some momentum. Geraldo will ground it over to Mercedes deep in the hole at second. And he'll throw Geraldo out at first. So now just 90 feet away is Smith Jr., but coming to the plate is Cesar Cuevas, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, both of them looking. Hasn't been a pretty day at the plate for Cuevas, but a chance to redeem himself here. Cesar this season, 1 home run and 18 RBI. A chance to make it 19, and more importantly, a chance to put his team in front if he can drive in Smith Jr. from third. Beautifully placed first pitch on the outside corner for ball as it's taken for strike one. Cuevas lets that one go by, and it's now a ball and a strike. 1-1 the count. Boog Powell in the on-deck circle. He would love a chance to come to the plate here. Pitch on the inside corner, and Cuevas takes. It's now 1 ball, 2 strikes. One and two. Here's the pitch, and Cuevas will foul it off. Cuevas a .212 average on the year. Trying to find himself here in the latter part of the first half of the season. Legends again in the bottom of their division. Trying to get some momentum on their side. Here's the pitch outside. A good eye by Cuevas as he takes. And the count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. A chance here for Cesar to get this crowd on their feet. Ball, the 2-2. And Cuevas down for the 3rd time in this game. All 3 strikeouts of the swinging variety. And Smith Jr., after that leadoff double, stranded over at third base. Legends and the Barnstormers still tied at 2. We go to the 8th inning here live on the Legends YouTube channel. We go to the 8th inning. Legends and the Barnstormers tied at 2. A new pitcher coming in for Lexington. As Kelly Dugan will lead things off. Daniel Gibson now taking the mound for the Legends. And the first pitch fouled off for strike one. 0-1 the count to Kelly Dugan, who's over 3 today. Dugan batting .344 on the season. He's flown out to right field, grounded out to second base, and did the same thing again that he did in the first. Flew out to right field in the fifth. An 0-1 count to Dugan as Gibson will get the sign and the pitch. Popped up and playable. Geraldo in foul territory will record the out. 0-4 day for Dugan. Now it's Cordero coming to the plate. Two for 2 day for Cordero. Scored a run. Drove in a run, did Cordero. He drove in the second run of the game for the Barnstormers. That RBI single back in the third inning. 1 ball, no strikes. Gibson will get the sign. And the 1-0 pitch. Hit hard into right field. Phillip Ervin backing up. And about 4 feet shy of the warning track, he'll haul in the out. So that brings up the right fielder, Clark. Ladarius, with the bases empty, will face off against Gibson. 2 down here in the inning. As the first pitch taken a little bit high for ball 1. Clark today 0 for 3. He's flown out to center field and right field and flown out to third base. So he's put the ball in the air, but all 3 times he has been recorded out. Fouls this one off as the count goes to 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ladarius a .289 average on the season. And today 0 for 3. And when he's been up to bat, 4 men have been on base. He has been unable to do anything with those guys when he's came to the plate. Gibson with the 1-1. It'll be down in the dirt. Now 2 balls and a strike. Ladarius, an .871 OPS, playing for the Barnstormers. 11 home runs. He has been a very good hitter for them. Second on the season, or second on the team in home runs, total bases. 32 RBI is top 5 on the team as well. This pitch is fouled off, and the count now even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lexington and Lancaster battling it out here in the top of the 8th inning. Legends trying to keep this at a tie ball game. Clark awaiting the 2-2 pitch. It's hit hard into right center field. Powell giving it a chase, and he'll get there in time to make the grab. A 1-2-3 inning for Lavendier in the top of the 7th. And a 1-2-3 inning for Gibson here in the top of the 8th. Still tied at 2. Can the bats get going for the Legends? We'll see what happens when we come back. It'll be Powell, Pugh, and Phillips. The 1-2-3 part of the order coming to the plate. And Brandon Phillips coming off that solo home run in his last at bat. We'll see what he has this time when he comes around on the Legends YouTube channel. We come back to the broadcast here with Boog Powell coming to the plate for the Legends. It'll be Powell, Pugh, and Phillips. And the new pitcher into the game for the Barnstormers is going to be Chase Johnson, the 6'3" right-hander from Fallbrook, California. 30 years of age. First pitch to Boog Powell has popped up and playable in the infield. And just like that, one down here in the bottom of the eighth. Now it's Tillman Pugh, who's 0 for 3 himself, trying to find his bat here tonight. Tillman grounded out to second base, hit a line drive to second base, and struck out in his 3 plate appearances. Johnson, first pitch coming there with some heat, a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. It's taken for strike one. Man, that one was juiced as it come across home plate. So 0 for 1. Pugh up the middle. Oh, going to be a hard hit ball. It'll get through. Perfectly placed directly between the 2 middle infielders. Feliz and Mercedes could not get to it. And Pugh aboard for the first time today. And the go-ahead run, potential winning run, on base for the Legends. Brandon Phillips hit a solo home run his last time around, celebrating his 41st birthday today. See if he can get something going here, potentially drive in Tillman Pugh. He's got some good enough speed. He might be able to score on one hit into the gap. Johnson, 1-6 on the season. And the pitch coming inside for ball 1. Chase a 4.25 ERA in 36 innings pitched. He's given up 17 earned runs, but no home runs yet given up by the Barnstormers pitcher. So 1-0 to Phillips. And this pitch on the outside corner, a ball and a strike. One ball, one strike to Phillips. Johnson's pitch outside, 2-1. We have our attendance number on the day. Hugh, what is that? 2761. 2,761 in attendance, sold attendance for tonight's game. Really good crowd on hand as Brandon Phillips awaits the 2-1. Up in the air, up in the zone, 3-1. How about, speaking of up in the air, how about this beautiful drone shot? My goodness. That is awesome from over top of Wild Health Field. Great shot there as BP bats here with a 3-1 count. And Johnson getting the sign with the pitch. Outside, ball 4, make it 3-2. And Phillips cannot believe it. He gives the home plate umpire a stare. He gives him a pat on the leg. And he'll come back to home plate here. Phillips could not believe that was ball or strike 2, and the count's now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pugh over at first. Johnson. And the pitch, ball 4, and Phillips will take his base. So we delay the inevitable for 1 pitch. And now there's 2 aboard for Lexington. And the first baseman, Tejeda, who's 0 for 3, will come to the plate to face off against Johnson. Johnson's throwing some heat, but he's missing the strike zone with it. Pugh at second, Phillips at first. Go ahead run in scoring position now for Lexington. Tejeda Stands in, chases pitch. Is going to miss for ball one. That one did not miss by much, if any. 1-0 count to Tejeda. Another good shot from the drone here over Wild Hill Field. I mean, I'm amazed. That's such a cool shot from Marsh and the gang here. Pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Tejeda, a .235 average. Chance to drive in his 21st run of the season. Pitch outside on the corner. It'll be 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Isaias Tejeda, first baseman for the Legends. Crowd starting to come alive here. We can feel it. It's a big opportunity for the Legends here late in this ball game. Tied at 2. Johnson gets the sign. Checks on Pugh and the 2-1 pitch. Tejeda grounds it over to short. To second for 1. They'll turn 2, and that'll be the inning. Pugh aboard with a single. Phillips aboard with a walk, but Tejeda grounds into an inning double play, and we will go to the 9th. Knotted up at 2 apiece. Folks, we might be in store for free baseball. We'll see what happens in the 9th inning when we come back on the Legends YouTube channel. Austin Adams will come in for the Legends. Adams needing to continue the way he's pitched all year to keep this game knotted up at 2 apiece. I mean, check out the drone shot once again, folks. Beautiful shot there. You can see the fans in the stands, all 2,761 of them that are paid attendance here tonight. And if you look real close, you can see Hugh Davis start with his cowboy hat on up here in the press box. But due up for the Barnstormers, Shaver, Robinson, Feliz, the 6, 7, and 8 part of the lineup. Legends missing a real opportunity there to take a lead late in this ball game. Had they done so, Adams could have came in here and closed the door and got a victory or a save for his team. Instead, he comes in just trying to preserve a tie ball game for the bottom of the 9th. First pitch inside, taken for ball 1. Shaver tonight 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a ground out back to the pitcher and a fly out to center field. He is batting here with the bases empty, leading things off here in the 9th in a 1-1 count. against Austin Adams. One and one to Shaver. As the pitch is fouled off back behind the stadium here and on top of the big league roofing roofs. So now the count 1-2. Adams throws one up in the zone. Count now evens up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Adams a 4.74 ERA pitching here for the Legends. The 2-2. Inside now 3-2. Big pitch of this at bat. Barnstormers trying to get the leadoff man on. This one's popped up, heading down the right field line. It'll get on top of the Mattress Overstock Stables. Swing and a miss, Shaver down on strikes. Nice pitch from Adams. So one down here in the ninth as Robinson takes the batter's box. And the first pitch outside, ball 1. Trayvon Robinson batting here for the Barnstormers as Austin Adams delivers the 1-0 pitch. A swing and a miss as the count jumps to a 1-1 count. That one outside, missing as the count jumps to 2-1. Adams a chance to get another out here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Every pitch important here in the ninth inning. In a tie ball game, you got to come with your A stuff. The 2-2. Swung on and missed, and Robinson down swinging. Oh, he foul tipped it. Hugh Davis pointing it out to me. He foul tipped it. And Robinson will stay alive. Man, that one was close. Two the count to Robinson. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed this time, and that'll be a strikeout. First it was Shaver striking out swinging. Now Robinson, and now Austin Adams 1 strike away from bringing the bats for Lexington back to the plate with a chance to win the ball game in the bottom half of the ninth. Henderson Feliz at the plate. Swing and a miss, strike 1. A 0-1 count to the Barnstormers shortstop. Adams, the pitch. We'll chop her down the line at first. Tejeda will field it, step on the bag, and a 1-2-3 inning from Austin Adams. Legends pitchers have come in. A great start from Brett Snyder. Lavendier came in relief first. He pitched well. 1-2-3, seventh inning for him. A 1-2-3, eighth inning for Gibson. And the same for Austin Adams here in the ninth. Now we go to the bottom half of the inning. Irvin, Smith Jr., and Jorgen to the plate. Might we sniff a Courtney Hawkins pinch hit? We'll see what happens when we come back. Legends due up in the bottom half of the ninth inning on the Legends YouTube channel. Phillip Irvin leading things off, and he'll fall behind 0-1 as he faces off against the new pitcher in there for the Barnstormers. Phillip Irvin, Smith Jr., and Jorgen coming up to the plate for the Legends. 0-2 to Irvin as get a good shot there of pitcher into the game for the Barnstormers. That's Johnson still, That's Chase Johnson still in the game for Lancaster. Yeah, Johnson remaining in the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Irvin trying to get leadoff man aboard for the Legends. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and Irvin down swinging. First strikeout of the game for the Legends right fielder. And Dwight Smith Jr. will dig in. He hit a leadoff double into right field his last time around. That was in the 7th inning. Ended up advancing over to third on a ground ball out and was stranded over there. That was the last chance the Legends had a real threat of scoring. Now here in the 9th, he'll bat with 1 down and now an 0-1 count to the Legends' designated hitter. Smith Jr. is walked, struck out, and that double to right field. Now facing off against Johnson. He awaits the 0-1 pitch. Outside, counts now even at a ball and a strike. 1-1 the count. Geraldo in the on-deck circle. Johnson with the 1-1 pitch, and Smith Jr. will hit it foul, and it'll come back into action here. It bounced off of the wall here off of one of the suites and back down into the bleachers. Now Smith Jr. with the ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pete Jorgen is in the on deck circle, followed up by Geraldo. Counts now even. Johnson with the 2-2. Comes inside and the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Dwight Smith Jr. with a payoff pitch here in the 9th inning. Johnson's got some speed on that fastball. He'll deliver one here, and Smith Jr. will take it and deliver it foul. So once again, we'll replay the full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 down here in the 9th. Johnson gets the sign and the payoff pitch. Down looking will go Smith Jr. That'll bring up Pete Jorgen. Jorgen had a big chance to do something in that 7th inning with Smith Jr. had doubled to right field. He tried twice to put down a bunt, did so unsuccessfully, and then eventually struck out in that 7th inning and ended some momentum the Legends had at that moment. Now Pete a chance to do something himself here with the bases empty and 2 down in the bottom of the 9th. Are we heading to extras? 0-1 count to Jorgen. Johnson's pitch swung on and missed, 0-2. Nothing in 2 the count. Johnson, the sign of the pitch, and Pete will stay alive. No balls, 2 strikes, a 94-mile-per-hour fastball following a strikeout to Irvin and a strikeout to Smith Jr. It's all on the shoulders of Pete Jorgen to send us home here in regulation, or in 9 innings. Instead, we'll head to extras. A strikeout to Pete Jorgen. Striking out the side in order is Chase Johnson, and we head to the 10th. Folks, free baseball. Don't go anywhere here on the Legends YouTube channel. Austin Adams stays in the game for the Legends. Starting this inning out at second base is going to be Robinson. Make that Feliz for the Barnstormers, and Lower will be the leadoff batter. So as we do now in the ALPB, when you go into extra innings, the person to record the last out of the previous inning will be the guy to take second base. So we'll start the inning off with a runner in scoring position, and Trace Lower batting here versus Austin Adams. Checks on the runner, and the pitch. Lower trying to bunt it. Bunts it foul. It's now a ball and a strike. 1-1 the count to the Legends' third baseman. Both pitching staffs have pitched well tonight. A combined 7 hits and 4 runs between the two teams. Lower with the 1-1. And he'll take strike 2. Pulled the bunt back, and the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the defense can go back to regular depth here. Lower has struck out in each of his last 2 plate appearances. 1 for 3 in the game thus far with an RBI. Adams with the 1-2. Lower will ground it over to third. Great defense. They'll throw over, and in time. Geraldo tried to give it an effort to potentially get the runner at third, but good hustling down the line by Feliz. Lower gets the job done as he does advance the runner, and that will bring up the leadoff man, Dunston Jr. Dunston Jr. 0 for 4 this evening. He's grounded out to second, struck out, popped up to second, and grounded out to first. 308 average. It's dipped down here tonight with those kind of numbers. 0 for 4. Now facing off against Austin Adams. Infield playing in, and the first pitch is grounded foul down the first base line. Oh, and 1 the count to Dunston Jr. Austin Adams has pitched well since coming in the game, an inning and a third, and a couple of strikeouts. This one hit hard to Phillips. He'll throw home. Jorgen able to get the out. Great defense by Brandon Phillips. They call time as Jorgen appears to be injured, but check out the replay. BP hesitates for a moment. Jorgen able to field it and keep the glove down in front of home plate. Great defense there by Pete. And the training staff coming out to check on him. Blake Swihart, the only other catcher on the Legends roster. Yeah, it looked like it was his glove hand. He was holding it there in front of home plate, and when the runner came in to slide, it kind of bent back the wrist of Pete Jorgen. See if Jorgen's able to stay in this ballgame. He looks to be okay. So Jorgen staying in the ball game, showing off the toughness. When you play behind the plate, I mean, these guys, they have got to be tough. Jorgen showing off his here. Check out the replay once again. Jorgen stands in there, and you can see as that slide comes in, it kind of stretches out the wrist, the left wrist of Jorgen. He held on to the baseball, though. That was the important thing. Giving up his body to potentially help his team win this game. They're hollering over to the dugout for something. maybe some like biofreeze or something that might help numb the pain for a moment. Not sure what they might be looking for. Maybe a wrist guard. I'm not sure exactly. P.J. Phillips was looking over to somebody in the dugout. Now Jorgen walking back over there to him. But a great defensive play. Brandon Phillips, a veteran of the game. He obviously knows what to do in those situations. And it looks like they're going to put some ice on the wrist, maybe? We thought it was the left wrist. It's actually the right wrist that they're working on here. I might have had a cut. That might be what it is. The left wrist might have been what was injured, but now the right wrist might have a cut on it because of the cleats coming in to Pete Jorgen. Pete checking it off, though, and he'll come back to behind the plate. Austin Adams will get back out there on the mound. And the batter is going to be Mercedes. He'll bat from the left side of the plate versus Austin Adams. Melvin Mercedes, a .243 average, 4 home run, 25 RBI. Adams, the pitch. Runner taken off, and I think they were going to try to test Pete's wrist there just to be sure. But Dunston Jr. going to be safe at second base. Now the go-ahead run in scoring position once again. Mercedes a 1-0 count. Adams will check the runner. And the pitch. That one taken outside. It's a ball, and the count now 2 balls, no strikes to the Barnstormers, second baseman. You really want to get out of this inning without seeing another batter because due up is Kelly Dugan, the top hitter in the ALPB to this point in the season, and he's 0 for 4, so he is due for a base hit. And now you've fallen behind Mercedes 3-0. You got to put something over the plate if you're Austin Adams here. Crowd trying to fire up the Legends pitcher. The 3-0 pitch is up high, and it's ball 4, and that'll bring Kelly Dugan to the plate. No action up in the pen. And once again, the top hitter in the ALPB, batting from the left side of the plate, will have an advantage here versus Austin Adams. And again, I repeat, he's 0 for 4, and he is due for a base hit, folks. You won't see many days at the office where Kelly Dugan goes 0 for 5. Austin Adams has got to buckle down here and try to find some way to get out of this inning. A deep breath from Adams, and the first pitch to Dugan is swung on and missed for strike 1. A third of the job is done. Now 2 more of those, and we're out of the jam. Adams gets the sign, and the 0-1. Down in the dirt, and a good job by Jorgen to keep it in front of him. One ball and a strike to the Barnstormers' first baseman. Top 3 in the league in average, home run, and RBI, and at the top of the list in 2 of those categories. Dugan awaiting the 1-1 pitch, and Adams will deliver. Up in the zone, 2-1. Barnstormers trying to take the late lead. Cordero in the on-deck circle. Jorgen gets the sign and the 2-1. Runner taken off for third. Jorgen will not attempt to throw. That does take the force out at third base. But now you can get a force out at second. You can get the ground ball over to first and get out of this inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on for Kelly Dugan. Adams will get the sign and the 2-2. Dugan will take outside and run the count full. So the runner will take off on the pitch. Adams delivers the payoff pitch, and he'll walk Kelly Dugan to load the bases for the Barnstormers. A walk to Mercedes and a walk to Dugan, and the bases loaded for the DH, Cordero. After evening the count up at 2-2, Adams missed on 2 straight pitches out and high. And now with the bases loaded, Cordero comes to the plate with a chance to push his team in front in extra innings. Austin Adams the pitch, and Cordero will hit one over to Geraldo. He'll throw it over to Phillips. The Legends don't make it look easy, but they get out of the jam. Bases loaded, 2 down. Cordero grounds out to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 10th, and the Legends have a chance to win this thing at home on the Legends YouTube channel. West Tunnel will come into the game for Lancaster. And he'll try to preserve a tie game and see if he can get his bats back up there in the top of the 11th inning. Tunnel from Phoenix, Arizona. The 29-year-old right-handed pitcher will face off against Geraldo, Cuevas, and Boog Powell. And as I say that, Montrell Marshall will move into the on-deck circle for the Legends. So it'll be Geraldo, Marshall, and then Boog Powell, the 8, 9, and 1 part of the order, due up here for the Legends in the bottom of the 10th. Geraldo will square around a bunt, and he'll pop it up into foul territory about 15 rows up into the stadium here. both of these teams have struggled with getting down a routine sack bunt in this game. Pete Jorgen over at second base. Oh, 1 count. Geraldo squares around. They'll try to bunt again. This time he does get it down. They'll throw over to third, and easily out at third is Pete Jorgen. So another missed opportunity for the Legends with a sacrifice bunt. And that'll bring up Montrell Marshall. Montrell, who was injured last Wednesday in a game for the Legends. Marshall facing off against Tunnel. Runner over at first is Geraldo, and Marshall hit by a pitch. And let's see what they say here. They're going to say that went off the bat, I believe, and Marshall will have to stay in there. Man, that's a tough break for Montrell Marshall again, who was banged up in a game last week. Had to exit, and Brandon Phillips ended up finishing that game over at third base. They're going to say that's a strike, so it's 0-1 to Marshall. Geraldo at first, good speed. One down here in the bottom of the 10th. Throw down, not going to be in time. Oh, and 1 count to Marshall. This one going to get foul over top of the Mattress Overstock Stables. Great place to take you a nap at during a game. So the 0-2 to Marshall. And that pitch outside, now 1-2. Geraldo takes his lead off the bag at first. Again, Boog Powell, top of the order in the on-deck circle. Want to avoid the double play ball here. Marshall will do just that with a base hit. Geraldo thought about heading for third, but he'll stay at second. So a 2-2 ball game, and Boog Powell now has a chance to play hero with Geraldo in scoring position at second and Montrell Marshall at first. Can the Legends bring one home in the 10th? First pitch on the outside corner, a called strike. West Tunnel facing off against Boog Powell, a 2.65 ERA. Powell will foul this one off, and he's quickly behind 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Powell will strike out swinging. So that brings up Tillman Pugh, the last hope potentially for the Legends in this inning. I said it last time I was here last Wednesday. I haven't got a chance to call a Tilly bomb this year. Tillman Pugh with Geraldo at second and Montrell Marshall at first. Pugh got a base hit the last time up and was stranded. Facing off against Tunnel, and he'll chase after one outside to fall behind 0-1. No balls and a strike to Tillman Pugh. Geraldo gets a good lead off of second. Nobody worried about holding him on at the moment. Focus on getting the batter out, and this inning's over with. Tunnel, the 0-1, and Pugh again behind on a breaking ball as he falls behind 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Tillman Pugh, who's batting .275 on the season. The 0-2. Pugh lets it fly by, and it's going to be outside. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. Pugh into right field. That one might be trouble. It is caught by Mercedes. My goodness, what a defensive play. Mercedes really coming out of nowhere to haul that one in. Legends get a pair of runners on. But we head to the 11th inning. Knotted up at 2 apiece. Folks, one more free baseball inning coming your way on the Legends YouTube channel. Yaramil Geraldo will now bat for the Legends as we head into the 11th inning. First pitch will allow Geraldo to jump ahead 0-1. So Brandon Phillips now over at third base. Tillman Pugh has moved up to second. Geraldo over to short. And I believe, is that Smith Jr. in left field, Hugh? TK Kuntz in left field. Powell in center field, and Irvin still in right for the Legends. So a lot of moving around for the Legends defensively, as Geraldo will get a swing and a miss from Clark to jump ahead 0-2. So one down here in the inning. It was actually a strikeout to Clark. So one down, and Geraldo faces off against Shaver. So the runner in scoring position is Cordero. One 0 count. One ball, one strike to the Barnstormers catcher. Geraldo the pitch, and Shaver down to a knee as a big swing and a miss makes it 1-2. Geraldo in 16 games is a .551 ERA in 16 in the third innings pitched. Trying to keep this at a 2-2 ball game. Geraldo with the 1-2 and fouled off the inside part of the bat. It'll stay 1-2. One ball, two strikes. Geraldo gets the sign. And the 1-2. Shaver will go around. No, he did not. Wow, that was close. Home plate umpire checks down to the infield ump. He did not go around, in the count now 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Barnstormers catcher. Geraldo, the 2-2, coming inside against Shaver. It'll run the count full. Now a 3 ball, 2 strike count. Geraldo will deliver the payoff pitch. And Shaver will deliver it up the middle into center field. Boog Powell will throw home. And out at the plate! A great throw home from Powell and Pete Jorgen again. Check out the defense here of Boog Powell, folks. We'll try to get that replay squared away. Pete Jorgen, for the second time in extra innings, preserves a tie game. Check out the replay. Powell comes up throwing, really put it in a perfect spot where Jorgen's able to get it and apply the tag about 3 feet away from the plate. Great job by Jorgen defensively once again. And now Feliz will come to the plate. He actually checks on Pete. He was the one that ran over Jorgen in the last inning. Make that Robinson, now comes to the plate. But a great defensive effort from Pete Jorgen, as there's now 2 outs in the inning and a 1-0 count to Robinson. One ball, no strikes. Geraldo the pitch. That one hit hard into right field. Irvin will come up throwing. Another play at the plate potentially, and instead, Shaver, who doesn't have the speed that Clark has, or Cordero, decides better of it, and he'll stay at third. So 2 down in the inning for Anderson Feliz. And 2 on, the go-ahead run 90 feet away with Shaver at third. First pitch is taken for ball 1. 1-0 count to Feliz. Geraldo will check on the runner at third. Glance over at the runner at first and deliver a pitch that swung on and missed. Geraldo with some heat there. A 96-mile-per-hour fastball, and you could see the steam coming off the glove of Pete Jorgen. One ball, one strike, and Jorgen, he may be done here. He's going over to the dugout. Yeah, I think Pete's coming out of this ball game. He's going to be checked on. And I saw somebody grab some catcher's gear. And Blake Swire, the only other catcher on the roster. It might be Blake putting on the catcher's gear, but Jorgen immediately checked himself out of this game and went into the dugout. So Swihart will come in here. In the 11th inning. Blake going to come loosen up. He'll come out and talk to Geraldo. And I've never seen that before. I've never seen a catcher just immediately after a pitch just run straight into the dugout there. Hopefully Jorgen's okay. I'm not sure if any of these other guys can play the catcher position. Swihart's been basically the normal starter for the most part. Blake's played in 49 games, and he'll come in here, try to finish out this game behind the plate. Geraldo with a 1-1 count. Gets the sign from Swihart and the pitch. Out of the zone, 2-1. Got my boy Michael Higginbotham tuning us in tonight. Mike's got a major surgery tomorrow, so if you can, remember him in your thoughts and prayers this evening. 2-1 the count to Feliz. And a swing and a miss. And the count now even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. "96-mile-per-hour on the gun again by Geraldo. Now the 2-2. Up in the zone. And the count now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Shaver at third, over at first is Robinson. Feliz trying to drive in the go-ahead run for the Barnstormers. The payoff pitch, fouled off. Once again, the 3-2. Runner taken off, and the pitch out of the zone. Ball 4. Shaver thought about trying to come home as that ball got away from Swihart. But he'll think better of it again, and with the bases loaded, coming to the plate is the third baseman Lower once again. Extra innings here at Wild Health Field. And folks, these teams play again tomorrow at 12:05. All thanks to Keith Hardiman tonight. Pitch out of the zone, ball 1. Geraldo in a jam here. The bases loaded and a tie ball game, top of the 11th. The 1-0 pitch is fouled off back into the net. A ball and a strike. Another pitch out of the zone, 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Geraldo the pitch. And that one will get down in the dirt. 3-1, and the Legends are one pitch away from walking in the go-ahead run here in the 11th. Lower awaiting. The 3-1. And the Barnstormers take the lead on the RBI walk from Lower. Shaver comes in to score. It's now 3-2 Lancaster here in the 11th. Swihart comes out to chat with Geraldo. And the base is still full for the top of the order, and Dunston Jr. coming back to the plate. Dunston Jr., who's 0 for tonight, he just continues to struggle at the plate tonight. But if there's any time to break out of a slump, it's with the bases loaded in extra innings. Already a 1-run lead. Insurance runs will be important too. The Legends will have Brandon Phillips to lead things off in the bottom of the 11th. That pitch on the outside corner, a ball or make it 2 balls and a strike. I think it's 1-1. Dunston Jr. awaiting the 1-1 pitch. This one hit hard to Tejeda. Man, he is so good defensively. It's a foot race, and Tejeda will win it as he steps on the bag to end the inning. Legends down by a run. We go to the bottom of the 11th inning. Brandon Phillips hit a solo home run earlier in the ball game to tie things up. Could he do it again here on his 41st birthday? Folks, we go to the bottom of the 11th inning here at Wild Health Field on the Legends YouTube channel. On the day he turned 41 years of age, Brandon Phillips tied this game up at 2 earlier in the ball game with a solo home run over the left field wall. Now in the bottom of the 11th inning, BP has a chance to do the same as he comes to the plate to lead things off. This time, if he can hit a home run, it would be a game-winning shot as Tillman Pugh starts things off in scoring position at second base. Phillips takes the first pitch right down the pipe for strike one. Cole Aker now in the game for the Barnstormers. Pugh takes his lead off of second. Phillips awaiting the 0-1. Tying run in scoring position, as in every ALPB game. When the game goes into extras, talked about it earlier, the runner that was the last recorded out in the previous inning is out, or will start the next inning in scoring position. So a 1-1 count to Phillips. The pitch hit hard into right center field. Might be deep enough to move Pugh over, and it won't be. Right fielder comes in. That's Cordero to make the catch, and there's one down here in the 11th. Isaias Tejeda will come to the plate. Tejeda's first pitch is fouled off for strike one. Pugh got a great lead off of second there. But again, I mean, I don't know if you want to risk a stolen base with this game kind of in limbo. Because if he's out, then you're starting from scratch. Not sure the stats of Shaver behind the plate defensively. 0-1 count from Tejeda as Pugh again gets a good lead off of second. And time is called. 3-2 lead for the Barnstormers here. Pugh. As time is called again. Tejeda. Oh, 1 is the count. Tejeda awaiting the pitch, and a big swing and a miss. It's now 0-2. One down in the inning. Phillip Irvin in the on-deck circle. And time is called again. Tejeda making sure he gets what he wants here. 0-2 to the Legends' first baseman. Now time called by Shaver as he and Aker try to get on the same page here. Shaver pointing out to him to calm down here in a big spot. Bottom of the 11th, tying run in scoring position to start the inning. One down. Here is Brandon Phillips. Popped up to right field. Aker, the 0-2. Tejeda over the big league roofs here at the stadium. Still 0-2. Aker, the pitch, and Tejeda down looking. And Tejeda can't believe the call. He immediately gets in the umpire's face. Did not like the strike 3 call, and he has some words for the home plate umpire as he walks back to the dugout, and Phillip Ervin will be the final chance for the Legends. One-run lead for the Barnstormers. Aker trying to get the save. First pitch to Ervin fouled off as the Legends down to their final 2 strikes here. Pugh's got good enough speed. He can score on a ball hit into the outfield. Ervin awaiting the pitch. Akers, the 0-1. Ervin! A hard hit ball in the left field. Back and foul ball. Man, that one brought everybody to their feet. And that one was about 5 feet shy of a game-winning home run. Right over the Metro net foul pole in left field. Man. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 11th inning, Phillip Ervin almost sent the Legends home victorious. Now he's back in the batter's box, facing an 0-2 count. The pitch, Ervin. Hard hit ball over to third. Lower will field it and throw over to first to end the ball game. And the Barnstormers, in 11 innings, knock off the Legends. 3-2, your final score. A tough way for the Legends to go down, and again it was back and forth. Every pitcher that came into this ball game was tremendous. A combined 10 hits, and I think half of those came in extra innings. But in the 11th, the Barnstormers get a run in the top half of the inning. Cole Aker comes in and closes the door in the bottom half, and your final score, Lancaster 3, Lexington 2, as the Legends drop another one here at home. On Brandon Phillips' birthday, he hits a home run, but he was really one of the only offensive pieces for the Legends that was able to do anything. 4 hits for those 2 runs. Lancaster gets 3 runs on 6 hits. They did commit 1 error in the game. Folks, these 2 teams right back in action here tomorrow at 12:05 start. If you can't make it out to the game, you can catch Tom Gross on the call at 12:05 here on the Legends YouTube channel. Until then, I'll be back with you on Thursday night, so have a good rest of your Tuesday night, and we'll see you next time from Wild Health Field on the Legends YouTube channel.